Yeah, this is going to be a unique setup because both players are going to want to opt out to play a little more defensively, and they both have a really unique range at that mid range that they're kind of aiming
Right.
for.
Right. But it's kind of weird because I haven't seen a Belmont online in like ages.
It's kind of surprising, really. It's a Wi-Fi character that you don't see too often online. And
No.
most people opt out to go Richter, but I think Crashgear is going to go for the Simon Belmont. And this is really unique. Crashgear, he's not relying on his projectiles as much as most Belmont players do. He's using his whip, and he's he's learning how to zone with F tilt and bears.
Right. Well, the one thing I want to see, because there is another. Well, there was a player who used to play a Belmont. I don't think he plays anymore. His name was Frosty. But Frosty was one of the best Richters
Ooh,
I had seen.
the Nair.
Ooh, that
Buffer the
sucks.
Nair. He probably meant to attack it up.
Right.
Yeah, this is some really daring air control coming from Skull Kid. He just knows how to catch jumps out of Richter. You know, he knows Richter's trying to land those landing bears. Oh, but okay, he just barely snapped back to ledge before he got gimped.
Right. Yeah, that's almost ended. Also,
Ooh,
I
I thought an up might have come out.
Right. Also, I think Belmont's got a buff of some sort in
Oh,
at
really?
least the last. It was either this patch or the last patch. It was during Fighter Pass 2. I know both
did not know
Belmonts
that.
got a buff. Or so I don't know what the buff was. I don't think it was highly significant, but I don't know.
Yeah.
The characters are kind of mid tier in my opinion, with the potential for high tier.
The thing is with Belmont is that they have some really good spacing tools, but their disadvantage is next to unplayable. So you're gonna see Skull Kid utilize this, the very gimpable recovery that the Belmonts have. Gonna be keeping him at ledge for quite a bit. And you're noticing like Crash is doing a good job of just returning back to stage from ledge. He just knows how to zone. Neither of them are quite playing very slow. You'd expect a match like this to be a lot slower, but they're both scrapping right into it.
Yeah. The one thing I'm kind of seeing is I'm seeing Crashgear kind of start to play neutral at center stage, and then he kind of loses it consistently. And I don't know.
It's hard for him to hold on to the stage control that he gets, but he sure is good at getting it. That's what makes him special.
Like, I'm not seeing down tilt from him, which I would like to see.
It's a good zone breaker sometimes. It's kind of tough to utilize against Ness and his large hitboxes, but we'll see if Crashgear can use it.
At like close range, it could be a good like option, or it can be used as a good like offstage tool.
And around 120, you can do a first hit down tilt mistech down smash. I see a lot of really good Richters do that. Maybe we'll see that come out of Crashgear. Skull Kid's at that percent. Forward throw, just barely. Okay, barely gets him off the edge.
Oh yeah.
Whew. Okay, kind of hard for Crashgear to get off the ledge, and this is the part where Crashgear really doesn't want to be in. He's being kept at ledge against Ness, but I don't know how to explain. He's so good at getting back to mid stage. I'm really excited to see how this progresses towards the end.
Yep. I mean, it's still very.
Yeah. Down air, drag down nair, upbeats.
That was clean right there. Like, this is still anybody's game, even though he's at like 130, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna happen with Belmonts, and especially Ness. Really good at gimping opponents at low percents, even better at high percents.
I guess. I feel like I don't know. I don't think they nerfed his tether recovery, because I know you can do forward air, and while the forward air hitbox against opponents is pretty kind of meh, the reach on it on ledge is pretty phenomenal as far as
it's concerned. A far-reaching move. I believe it's only active for a single frame. One frame is it active, so you might see a swap from Crash. He might opt out for sort of a zone breaker.
Yeah, that is a possibility. We'll have to see. But it's just kind of an odd pick. I don't see Belmonts that often. So Ness is, on the other hand, I see plenty often.
Sticking with Simon. Really interested to see how they start leading off these matches.
Right. Oh shoot.
trying to get this plat control. Skull Kid is
Mm-hmm.
very aggressive once he gets into advantage. I
Yeah.
think they know when to approach and when not to, and they just have that knowledge of their character that's super helpful in the matchup like this.
All right.
Because a lot of people would assume that you want to play slow in a matchup with two zoners, but they just know when to utilize their speed.
Right.
It's really smart coming from both players.
Good, careful spacing coming from Crashgear here on the second game. Actually,
Yeah, he's very smart.
Yeah, Crashgear.
Especially around these PK fires, he's zoning it just barely outside the range with his cross. Yeah, sometimes he even toss the cross backwards just to set up for a later. So he lets him get longer strings and combos off of his downer.
Right, and it's pretty good. You know, you gotta. Usually, the way I see it is when you're playing game one, you either play super aggressive and try to
unfortunate
try to mitigate the opposing the opponent from trying to do anything, or you play kind of in a losing position so you can learn how your opponent plays their character. So
yeah, you can kind of see that coming from Skull Kid. He's basing how he approaches his opponent on how what's worked and what hasn't worked. He's kind of finding some of Crashgear's weaknesses. He's utilizing his very strong quick air dodge, and he's just kind of maneuvering around these projectiles and sneaking in hits. Sometimes that's just enough.
Yeah, that is. It's gonna do quite the good if he can keep kind of pressuring that aerial game, because it is
Ness can do
strong. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a strong aerial game from both of them. The only difference is that Ness's aerial game is slightly more pressuring, in my opinion.
Ness's aerial game is a lot faster and it's a lot more safe, especially at close range.
Yeah, which like I said, it's much more pressuring because of that.
Yeah,
and it'll just do the work. So
yeah. It's kind of rare to see Nesses want to be up close, but in this matchup, Skull Kid's knowing where he wants to be, and I think that's just really smart of him to have an understanding of this matchup. You can tell he's been playing Ness for a while.
Well, he has to get up close because this is one of the matchups where he can't really use Magnet to really to do a whole lot. He can utilize it for stall, but he doesn't want to do that against a character who knows how to fight stall. The Belmonts are very good at stall. So
Belmonts can almost outstall every character in the game, at least on stage. I guess
off stage too, if you know how to do it right. But for the most part, it's mainly on stage.
Yeah, Belmonts don't really have too many recovery mix-ups, so it's very linear for Skull Kid to take advantage of.
Right.
So we'll have to see how Skull Kid likes to catch these landings, because these two are just scrapping it out, catching landings and getting people out of distance. Oh, I thought we were gonna see an air conversion.
Yeah.
Just spacing around with these F tilts. Really safe stuff comes from Crashgear. The things you want to do when you're at a deficit. Yeah.
Ooh, good PK fire.
Ooh. Yeah, Skull Kid's utilizing his air game so well. He outframed it as his character, and
why didn't he up smash there? Oh, that'll do it.
I did not think he'd be able to nair there, but
I was kind of questioning it for a second, because my first thought was, well,